Okay, hey everybody. Thanks for hopping on our monthly team call. I am very excited for the content that we're going to talk about this evening because it has to do with building a legacy business and how to build a sturdy foundation in your business so that one day we are all jewels and we all have legacy businesses that are providing for our families for years to come, and we're not running ourselves ragged trying to do it, right? And part of it is staying focused on leveraging the tools we have to build a team of leaders and doing the right activities that can keep us in the leader building process. Because if the goal is to be a jewel in Plexus, right? If the goal is to be an emerald on the beaches of Maui, getting the jewel pool bonus money, paid for a car, lifestyle bonus, cash, all the things, which is wonderful. The goal needs to be developing leaders in separate legs of our business. And so I know that the concept of legs can be confusing if it's not something you've dove into just yet. But essentially, all of your level ones are individual legs of your business. Every level one is technically their own leg. Now, if one of your level ones starts building a business of their own, that can be a leader leg, right? Because they are now a leader of a team. And you can have as many leader legs as you want, as humanly possible, right? You can have as many leader legs, and the more, the better. The wider you can build that leadership leg, the better and more stable your business will be. Now, when people talk about outside leg points or where's your strongest leg is your level one who has the largest team. So that level one of yours that has the most amount of organizational points in their organization, that is your strongest leg. Everything outside of that one strongest person's team is your outside leg. That is your outside leg points. And as you go up higher in the ranks, there is a minimum of outside leg points that you must achieve in order to rank up. So this helps us to not ride one person's coattails all the way to the top, right? And to just become a complete check collector and let them do all the work. Okay, and also this allows you to outrank your sponsor, technically. So a lot of people have done that in Plexus. You could absolutely outrank me one day, and that would be super cool, right? If you're working so hard at that, like your team is absolutely exploding and you outrank me, awesome. I like love to see it, right? Like that is incredible. So that's really cool the way that our compensation plan works. But ideally, what we want to have are a handful of individual leader legs on our first level so that we have a sturdy foundation of businesses that are working in and of themselves, that are not us having to do the personal recruitment, the personal retention, the personal leadership development, right? It is taking the time to guide, teach, and bring those leaders along in their rank advancement journey so that they are then turning around and developing leader legs of their own, right? So that is the goal, to have this foundationally sound business that's not going to like completely collapse, because not everybody stays around forever, right? And if we only have one leader leg that is doing all this work, and pretty soon, you know, that leader's like, I'm going to slow down, or I'm having a baby, or I'm moving, or something's happening in my life, or I need to take my foot off the gas for a minute. We want to have other leader legs working so our business still stays in a really healthy place, right? So the goal is to have at least a handful of leader legs. And I think the thing is, we often get caught up in organizational efforts and organizing the albums in our phone, or finding things on team pages, or making notes on things, or identifying where resources are, or making sure we're keeping track of scripts in our notes, or making new lists of people, right? Or sometimes it's getting caught up in group chats, right? And we're part of the conversation. We want to, of course, always cheer people on and contribute to the conversation and all that. But I think sometimes we're getting caught up in a lot of that stuff, or sometimes it's finding the best content ideas, or finding the most trending music for our reels or whatever, right? And that stuff is not the activity that's going to be developing leaders on our team. Some of that can be helpful in our business in kind of the extra time here and there. And knowing where to find resources can be important, right? And being organized can help you work more efficiently, right? But if it's taking up a lot of your time, so much so that it's taking away from the essential business building activities, you're not going to see the business growth that is necessary to have a strong foundational business that is built on consistency and retention and lots of enrollment and duplication, right? So we need to be getting into action. And the best part about that is we have everything we need here to be successful, right? All of the tools, all of the resources, all of the things are here, not only in our team pages. We have them in the Plexus Virtual Office and Plexus Go app interface. We've got all of the sharing tools. We've got business resources. We've got product resources. We've got testimonies. We've got before and afters. We've got posts. We got literally everything. We have roadmaps to every single rank. We have compensation plan resources. Like every single thing you could ever want to be successful in this business is free and readily available to you already. But that being said, that feels like a lot of things in a lot of places, right? And that can feel like an overwhelming amount of stuff. And you sit down to work and it's like, what do I do? And I think our team really rocks it with the IPAs and the power hours and the power half hours and our checklists and really being productive with our time. But remembering that there's really only a handful of things to think about when we want to be successful in this business. And it's talking to new people about Plexus, right? Following up with these new people that you're talking to about Plexus. And then when they start, you guide them to either a product customer or a new sharer, right? And either way, you're staying in contact with them constantly. You're going to celebrate every little small win along the way. You're going to move them to their next micro commitment. That is our job in retention and guiding a new sharer, is what is their next micro commitment at this time? It could be adjusting their products, starting their products, getting back on their products, maintaining consistency, right? Or it could be taking part in an event, or watching a testimony that will help build their belief, or inviting them to the next challenge. Or sometimes it's the next step in their business, right? So if it's some kind of sharing step or a follow-up step, or those things we mentioned before, whatever that next step is in their business, our job is to simply be the guide for whatever journey that they are on. Keeping in mind that along the way, as we're guiding person after person, customer after customer, business builder after business builder, our job is to constantly be seeking our next leader leg. Who is going to be the person that is going to be coachable enough, gritty enough, hardworking enough, and consistent enough, right, to work with me and help this be a new leader that can experience all that Plexus has to offer in their opportunity, right? And I think we do a fairly good job about sharing the business opportunity. Like, we're pretty medium on that front, right? A lot of us talk about it fairly often, right? Especially a lot of the top leaders on our team. But I think we can definitely do more, myself included. I know sometimes I forget to post about it as often as I would have hoped, or I will go through spurts of asking all my customers about sharing. And this month was a time where I kind of went back and asked everybody about the Apple Watch thing, and got a couple of new people kind of dabbling in that. But we should definitely be doing that more often, because I feel like I say this all the time, and maybe the more I say it, the more I will start to absorb it. But we truly get back what we put out there. So if we are only sharing about the products, then we can pretty much bet that we're only going to be recruiting product customers, right? The odds of us recruiting someone interested in the business opportunity when all we are sharing are triplex testimonies is very slim, right? So when we start sharing more often about the business opportunity, that will get more and more familiar to our network, and it will get more familiar to our existing customers. I think we forget sometimes that our showing up on social media is part of our customer follow-up. Because when we are not showing up in the space that they found us, that can kind of take away their belief and their consistency when we're not seeing us show up like we once were, right? And so if we're sharing not only consistently about Plexus in general and products, but especially about the business, we might find that people are more open to exploring the opportunity when we bring it up to them, or we even might have people reaching out to us about it. And I know that us on this call have had people reach out to us about the business, which has been a direct result of how we have talked about the business and what it has done for us, and sharing our personal testimonies of friends, the opportunity available this month. And so what I really want to see on this team, especially in the coming months, as we are really, really in the heart of the season of momentum for our business specifically, for Plexus specifically, this is the season to really get after it and put the pedal to the metal. Not every season is a sprinting season, but this is. So I would be ready for that and divide your time in a way that allows you to be present for your business. Because right now is the season when we can really take our businesses to the next level. And even though we can get to that next level by recruiting 50 level ones, nobody wants to do that. It's not realistic. You'll run yourself into the ground trying to keep up with everyone. And odds are not all of those 50 customers will be continuing to order indefinitely. So you'll find yourself feeling like a rat in a wheel of constantly trying to make up for attrition. And that's what happens when you try to do all the heavy lifting yourself. When you try to do all the enrollment yourself, eventually attrition catches up with you, right? Because not 100% of your customers are going to keep ordering for the rest of their lives. And we know that. Attrition is a real and normal thing that every single business goes through. And like even Netflix has people canceling their memberships, okay? Like no service is perfect. And so we need to remember that if we're trying to do all the recruitment ourselves, we need to constantly be fighting that attrition. But if we can have our efforts being multiplied by other leader legs on a consistent basis, then that will exponentially expand our reach. It'll exponentially expand our business. And I think each of us here wants to build a legacy business, right? One that works even when we're not, and is able to provide for our families for years and years to come. And this is really done through high capacity leader development. And that means we're not just trying to coax someone into having a few family members join in, like accidentally go silver, right? Like you can do that for some people, but that needs to not be like our number one form of leadership development, okay? It's not like accidental silvers, okay? We need to be mapping out the road to gold with them and helping them duplicate their way there. With my thumbs up. I don't know why that happens. Thumbs up for people going gold. And I've shared this before, but you can go gold by enrolling 4 people and helping each one of those people enroll 4 people. It's the 4x4 method. And it is one of the most simple ways to make a roadmap for someone to go gold. It is a bite-sized way for them to think of who they can help, who might be open to also earning some extra income or getting the cost of their products covered, right? And instantly gets them in the mindset of presenting the opportunity to the people around them and asking others to share, right? And I mapped it, or I did the numbers, and a Fast Start Gold who like goes through Fast Start Silver and Senior Silver along the way is going to earn over $1,300 for that achievement with the 4x4 method. Okay, so if we could present to someone, if I could teach you how to earn $1,300 by referring 4 people to Plexus and helping each of them refer 4 people, would you be interested in exploring that? Is that something you'd be interested in? Earning $1,300 over the next couple months. And all we have to do is find 4 people that also want to refer 4 people, right? And you can break it down really easily. And that was pretty cool. When I saw the numbers, I was like, that's a legit amount of money. That's like a legit amount of money that could be a game changer for a lot of people, right? But the thing is, we need to be communicating this to potentials and existing customers. I think we're cutting ourselves a little short with the tactic being most of the time going for silver or just a few $100s. I think that that's fantastic. But I think if someone could understand that there is a very clear-cut way to put $1,300 in their pocket and be healthier and happier along the way, that is a huge, huge talking point that we aren't talking about enough. And when someone is open to the idea of sharing, we should be starting there. Like we really should. We should be like, this is what it looks like to earn $1,300 in the next couple of months, or next week if you really want to, right? It depends on how much work they're going to do, right? But going Fast Start Gold with the 4x4 method is like, that needs to be the standard of the roadmap that we present people with. Then along the way, we can be celebrating each of their achievements, right? Like adding their first 3 and going silver, and this month adding, if they have to add 6 this month and get an Apple Watch, or finding their first new sharer on their team, or achieving Senior Silver. These are like checkpoints on their way to gold, right? But gold really needs to be the main destination. I think it's a total turning point for someone's business because, like I said, we're helping them duplicate their way there. We're helping them develop foundational leadership and team development principles from the start. Even though we're doing a lot of the example along the way, you know, we're setting the example, we're having a lot of the conversations, we're guiding them, we're telling them what to say, what to post, you know, we're giving them the steps to move through this. But I think setting the bar much higher is going to be really important for us to see a lot more golds popping up on our team. Because then, you know, once they go gold, you and them get invited to gold school, right? Where they and you and me and us all get some real rubber meets the road kind of training to help us all transform our business into a legacy business. And where this comes into play is that then they can turn around and see that their team could have multiple leader legs and they're going to start developing goals for themselves, right? So that is the key, is we want a handful of gold leader legs that are in the process of developing their own handful of gold leader legs, right? And I just feel really strongly that we have got to raise that bar. I think that I kind of said this earlier, but I think that we do a lot of like helping people accidentally find their way to silver, when really we need to be like, hey, there is a ton of money on the line, a ton of opportunity here that could make a huge difference for you and your family. And there's a simple way to get there. Are you open to hearing more about that? Right? Because there is so much more opportunity out there for the taking, and so many people are looking for ways to make extra money that this could be huge. And when you really raise that bar, there's more on the line, right? And you might get higher quality leaders, right? And if we get out of our own way and really think about who are the high capacity, high quality leaders that we want to offer this opportunity to and go after those people, that could be a game changer for us. And that could take our business to an absolutely new level, because I'm talking like professionals, busy people, the doers, the movers, the shakers in our communities, the people who are showing up consistently for the things that they're a part of, the people who are on social media sharing things that they're passionate about, the people who are already are well equipped with the tools to be super successful at this. They just need to be offered the chance to try it out, right? And a lot of you might have seen my post I made earlier today about who were teachers and nurses. If you haven't seen that, go to my feed. Oh my gosh, look. This is great. What else do I have? I don't know. Isn't there a heart one? I don't know. Anyway. Okay, carry on. But I was on a Joule call and we were talking about seeking out high quality professionals who have grit, are hardworking, extremely coachable, ready to learn, ready to put in the work to make a difference for their families. And what sort of professions we see these people in. Lots of medical professionals, lots of people in business careers, you know, advertising, sales, lots of stuff like that. Tons of teachers, tons of nurses. And so we literally had a raise of hands. Who was a teacher or a nurse before they started Plexus? And these are Joules. These are six-figure earners in Plexus, top leaders. Half of the people there on that call, half of them were teachers or nurses before they started Plexus. And that is insanely amazing proof that the people in our lives who are the people you look up to, the people you respect, the people who seem super busy and driven to make a difference in their community and the lives of their family, those are the people who are already so well equipped to do really, really well at this, and they can and absolutely will succeed. And not every single one of them will be open to this, right? But we have some pretty darn good proof in Plexus that busy, successful professionals do extremely well in network marketing. And a lot of times it's just speaking to them about what sort of pain points they might be dealing with in their career. And a lot of times it's being overworked and underpaid or mistreated or not enough vacation, not enough upward opportunity, right? For them to go any higher or make any more. Not the flexibility they want, not enough time with their family. maybe they're having a baby, or maybe they have a big event coming in their life, and their job is making it really hard for them to make the most out of that, right? And so there's lots of things that we can speak to that can strike a chord with the people who we know could be really, really good at this. And that was a fun conversation earlier too, to be on a Joule call and have them all speak to what were the sort of pain points that they struggled with that made them take the leap into Plexus. And it had a lot to do with, you know, time with their family, vacation time, like I said earlier, being underpaid and working really hard, running themselves ragged to the point where their health was suffering because of their job, right? And I think that we miss that sometimes, and we forget about that sometimes. And granted, I was a stay-at-home mom before I started Plexus, right? And I maybe not was like the prime target. Like I was not like busy, successful business professional. Like I was not, that was not who I was, right? And so I think for myself, I often look to people who looked like me before Plexus, like who is like a stay-at-home mom of a young kid. You know what I mean? Like who was where I was before Plexus. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because I could find the next Allie out there, right? That person could be out there waiting for this opportunity. But it was very interesting because I think I was limiting my sphere of influence to people who looked like me. And I was forgetting about the people who really are high caliber and high quality. Oh my gosh, guys, this is crazy town. This is hilarious. What else can I do? And how did I do that? I don't know. Anyway, and like who is a successful professional that maybe is the polar opposite of me, but has every other quality right in line with success in this business. And just going after those people that I'm like, man, they already have what it takes. If they just turn that passion into a Plexus business, they could just kill it, like absolutely kill it in this business. And so we need to be done playing small is the deal. And we need to not be afraid of saying the wrong thing and not be afraid of making a mistake, because you know what, in this business, we're going to talk to a lot of people, guys. We're going to talk to a lot of people. There are going to be potentials, and there's going to be new shares that are going to come and go, and some will stay and it'll be awesome. But if you mess up a conversation, or you don't do such a great job on that Zoom or that phone call with your team member or your potential, like it's okay. First of all, most people will give you grace, right? And not let one misstep totally derail you. But also, that is not going to be the last person that you ever talk to, or the last person that you lead. And the next person is right out there waiting for you to work with them. So if we are nervous to reach out to the people that we know are crazy successful and we respect and admire, and we know they would actually just like knock this out of the park, if we're afraid to reach out to them because we're afraid we're going to say the wrong thing, we are highly stifling our success. And you know what? Let yourself say the wrong thing. Let yourself screw it up. Do your best, and you know what? You're going to have a lot of experience to turn in the next really high caliber leader that you recognize. You're going to be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do better this time. Right? And it's all about that failing forward. We have got to just let ourselves raise the bar, stop playing small, stop being worried about making a mistake, and just move forward. Right? So I know that like a lot of thoughts might be coming up for us about this. They were for me earlier when I was like having this discussion, like, who am I stay-at-home mom to reach out to this successful like business person, right? Like, I don't know. I don't relate to this person at all, right? But you know what I can offer is some pretty strong social and personal proof that this business is an avenue for more time and financial flexibility for the people who want it. And that's almost all you need, right? We need some firm belief that this absolutely is an opportunity for people to make some extra income with a really flexible business opportunity that absolutely can work how and whenever and wherever they want it to, that can make a real difference for them. And it's something that can grow exponentially over time, that in the weeks and months and years to come, they could look back and the entire financial picture for their family could be vastly changed because of this. And I know I'm proof, and I know a lot of people on our team are proof. And so when we talk about approaching high capacity leaders and having more business conversations and developing new gold brand ambassadors on our team, we need to not only equip ourselves with all the tools and scripts and steps and all the things, and I'll go through a couple of those in here in a minute, but we need to have some firm belief in what this opportunity can offer them. And if that takes reading business testimonies, if that takes watching diamond documentaries, if that takes having a personal conversation with our uplines or me or another diamond or whatever, right? Whatever that needs to be, if you feel like your belief is lacking in what this opportunity could really offer people, that has got to be the center, because I think our posture and our confidence when we have conversations really shows. It really comes through that if we are uneasy about something and kind of have some vague language about it, it's going to come across in our conversations. And if we don't have confidence in what we're presenting, how would someone ever have confidence in what we're offering, right? And if we don't have confidence in the opportunity that we're offering, people are going to have a hard time trusting us to lead them, right? Because it is very, very hard to lead someone to a place that we are not willing to go ourselves, right? So we got to remember that. So that being said, let's go through just a couple of, I guess, sets of steps, I would say, to just remind ourselves of like, this is how you go about leading with the business. This is how you go about presenting the opportunity. And there are some simple steps, but sometimes we need a refresher, right? And so it all starts with some people call it a discovery message or a reach out or a connection message, whatever you want to call it, or to a existing customer or to a reach out person, right? That you've never talked to about Plexus before. It all starts with just presenting the opportunity to them, right? We have so many scripts everywhere. If you need a script, message me, message your sponsor, look on the team page. There's some pinned on the team page, right? There are scripts galore. In a script, people say what you want about scripts. Scripts are a wonderful place to start. I think that there's some really wonderful magical verbiage out there that can be really good to start with. And so scripts are great, but always adjust them to sound like you, right? And step one is just to reach out to them, present the opportunity to them, right? Whether it's a customer or a potential. Then the next thing you're going to do is not like vomit the Plexus compensation plan on them, right? The next thing you want to do is explain why they would be so successful, right? Vision cast for them. You are going to be so good at this because you're already so organized, so well connected in the community, very respected. And I know that you're really, really smart. And I would really appreciate and respect your opinion. And so I know others would too, right? Or whatever. Allow them to see the positive qualities in themselves, why they would be successful at this, and help them see that this can be flexible to fit in your already busy schedule. And things like the products and this income opportunity are for every single person that you know. And a lot of people that you might not know yet, right? If you have a huge network community that we can connect with, this opportunity and income is truly limitless. So that's a really good place to start, right? And then help them set goals. This is where we need to like listen, okay? And you can explain to help guide you in the best way and to give you the most relevant and impactful information for you and your personal situation. What amount of money or what time, like work time, right? Would make this worth it for you to learn how to do, right? What amount of money would you want to make to really make this worth it for you to learn how to do well? And listen, like, let them tell you. Maybe they're like, man, I have some bills that I cannot afford to pay right now. If I can make an extra $200, that would be amazing. Or, man, I would love to make like an extra few $1,000s in the next few months. Great. And then you know their speed. And you can ask, wow, what would you do with that money? Or what kind of difference in your family would that money make for you guys? Right? Then listen. Then just listen and not spew out everything. Right? And after you have that, you know their speed, you know their money that they're going for, you know that they've got goals and it would make an impact on their family. They've explained this to you, right? Then show them that money, show them where that money comes from. Okay, and this is the opportunity for us to map out gold, right? When you find 4 people and help each of them find 4 people, you are going to earn $1,300, right? Within the next like 5 months. I think Fast Start Gold is like a 4-month thing, 5-month thing. I need to go look, but it's like long, like it's a while. 4 months, thank you. Erica says 4 months. And so, right, in the next 4 months, you can make $1,300 by finding 4 people who also want to refer 4 people, right? And show them that and really get that dollar amount in front of them. And then just ask again, what are your thoughts on this? Is this something you would be open to learning how to do? Or this phrase from Melissa Eichenhorst I loved. On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being sign me up and 1 being not really open to this, where would you say where you land? Or where would you say you are? I thought that was kind of fun, right? Let them put themselves on a scale. And after that is where you can handle objections, right? And I just posted a post recently on the Elite page that had some common business objections. Like, do people really make money? I don't have the time for this. I wouldn't be good at this, you know, whatever. And so go and look up that post about business objections when you are having conversations about their readiness to get started, right? And once you've spoken to these things, and you can offer more exposure if needed, right? If they need to understand the products more and the impact they're making, every Tuesday night we have a call for them. If they want to understand the impact that the business is making, every Sunday night we have a call for them, right? And we have recordings of all the calls. Okay, so we have ways to plug them in and get their thoughts on things. And you can invite them to the next call, or say, if I send you a 15-minute call, would you watch it and tell me what you think? And then you can ask them what part of that resonated with you. You know, and what's cool about all those calls is they're different people all the time, so you can read the testimonies and see if it's something that would relate to them. On the graphics, it has all their testimonies, products or business. And if they're like not sure anybody they know would be interested or something, there's an answer to that in objections, right? Or you could, again, refer them to a product call, and you could say, does anyone you know struggle with anxiety, like my friend here, or IBS, like my friend here? Like, does anyone you know have digestive problems or sleep problems or looking to lose weight? Here's a great thing. You could even send this to them and see if they'd be interested in trying it, right? So that is the space where you handle objections. And then beyond that, you're going to sign them up and show them how, right? And it all starts with their product experience. So, okay, the first thing to do is get you started on a product system that's going to work best for your needs. So you can take product photos, you can have personal taste tests with the products, you can develop your own testimony along the way. And so you start with that conversation, but immediately start the sharing process while you're explaining the important parts of the compensation plan, right? So when this person enrolls, you're going to get 20% of their purchase as a business building bonus, right? That's where some of that money is going to come from. Some of that $1,300, right? You're like chipping away at it that they're going to make over the next 4 months when they go Fast Start Gold, right? So you can celebrate that along the way. Celebrate the first customer, celebrate the second customer, celebrate their third customer, and yay, they've gone silver, right? This is where that money is coming from. This is how that's going to get paid out. Oh, if we can help people enroll with a larger product system, you're going to earn more business building bonuses because it's 20% of the PV, right? So explaining those little things along the way is going to be really important, because they're going to start to understand and build more belief in the opportunity as they're watching it happen for themselves, right? And as they're starting to share, make this as simple as possible, right? They're going to put up a post. Then they're going to start 3-way chats with you and whoever is interested, every single person interested, right? And then they're going to make a list and reach out to all of those people and see if they're open to earning more, right? And yes, Erica, the Refer and Earn program goes through all of these steps, right? And we have the Refer and Earn $300 page if you need to like walk through this, all of these steps, right? If you want a page to add them to and tag them in things. And after they've reached out to people, you're going to coach them on continuous posting. And then beyond that, this is where you can invite them to the next thing. If it's their own launch event, great. If it's the next product call, great. If it's the next business call, great. And you're going to be following up. If it's offering a sample, great. Whatever that is, you're posting, You're starting chats with interested people. They're making a list, they're reaching out to see who is interested, getting their feelers out. All those people, you're gonna get them invited to something. You're following up and they are invited to an exposure in some way. Some people are ready to enroll, awesome. Some people aren't quite sure, still scoping it out. That's when you're either having an event or inviting to an event, right? And you're following up and closing. And all the while, they are learning how to do this properly, right? They're watching how this process is done. And it's really only like 5 steps. Like to get someone launched, like this is what they do. And beyond that, it's the constant cycle of keeping posts up on social media, reaching out to start new conversations about Plexus, and following up with those people, you know, and closing those conversations about Plexus, right? It's really not super complicated, and I think we overcomplicate it sometimes. And of course, there are nuances to like who we are reaching out to and how we're reaching out to them, and if we really have a relationship with these people, and you know, all those things. But the key here, when you're helping someone get started, is to make sure that you or they are sharing the income opportunity with every single person that they enroll. And a lot of times that third party, you as the neutral third party, is often more powerful than them just like mentioning it to their sister or whatever, right? Because I find that our best friends and our close community members and our family, they have seen us through like the ups and downs of life. And they're like, I'm gonna see if this works out for you, and then I'll think about it. Right? They're like the last people to jump in. But often if we can have that validation from a third party of someone who has kind of been there, done that, and is showing us the ropes to come in and be like, hey, I'm helping her earn all this money. Do you want to earn all this money too? Because I'll show you how. They're like, huh, yeah, I guess so, maybe, yeah, you know. And so the reception is often a little more open as a neutral third party presenting that than it might be the direct person. I noticed that to be true when I was getting started, and Cassie Rainey was my sponsor, and she helped me get started. And a lot of her coming in being like, hey, you want to do this? Because we're doing this. And they were like, oh yeah, sure, I guess. Right? Because I was just starting and I didn't have that confidence built up yet. And I didn't feel like I knew what to say or how to say or when to say it. And I didn't have the right kind of angle to present that to like my family members and my close friends. That just it wasn't right for that season. And so a lot of times that neutral third party can be really helpful. And all the while, you've shown them the simple process of presenting the opportunity to somebody, giving them information, following up, signing them up, and then guiding them through sharing, right? Making it so easy and so simple for them to follow and celebrate every single win along the way. This shows them how powerful and simple this opportunity can be as their team grows exponentially. And if we're able to get in their team and in those conversations and help their team grow underneath them, Bob Heilig says this all the time. He said, like, start the fire from the bottom up, right? If they're like, I'm still learning, I'm not sure what I'm doing, and you're in there with all the confidence and the steps and the tools and equipment and resources in the world, making it happen, they're like, oh my gosh, that's how you do it. Like, that's how this works, right? And so it's almost like you're building their belief for them right in front of their eyes. And then they sort of catch on, right? So that is all I have for tonight. But the key is we have got to be raising the bar, really seeking out high capacity leaders, and making the first goal going gold with the 4x4 method. If you would like to make $1,300 in the next 4 months as a fast start gold, you find 4 people who want to enroll 4 people, and you are a gold ambassador, right? And this is an opportunity that we can offer to every single person. I can show you exactly how all of the math works out, and that is the minimum, right? If people order more, they get more business building bonuses. So that is the minimum of a fast start gold with the 4x4 method. And we've got to get out of our own way and understand that there are people out there who want exactly what we have to offer. And we need to go seeking the high quality, high capacity leaders that we know would be really good at this. And understand that silver is awesome, finding 3 people is awesome, but having a team of developed leaders from the get-go is so much more stable and so much more lucrative and so much more flexible because they're not going out and enrolling 20 people and burning themselves out and burning the candle at both ends, trying to build this gold team alone. And then at the end of a couple months, you know, some people have quit, they're not holding gold anymore, and then that's like a whole other conversation, right? So teaching people to develop leaders from the start and being that example is going to be the way to go. And so anyway, does anybody have any comments, concerns, things they want to address, thoughts, any thoughts that are coming up for anybody? Or resources that you want, right? Does your team, you feel like you need a certain resource? But we've got the product calls every Tuesday, 6 Pacific. They're recorded. We have the recordings. And the business calls every Sunday at 6 Pacific. And we have those recordings as well. So you can always send recordings to people or invite people to them every single week. If someone is interested in the products, invite them to the next product call. If someone's interested in the business, invite them to the next business call, right? And then see what sort of money would make this worth learning for them. And map that out. And then sign them up and show them how. That's how we do it. All right. That is all I have tonight, you guys. Thanks for coming. I'll upload this recording soon, and hopefully this was helpful. I wish I could get the fireworks to go again, but I can't. I don't know.
I feel like it might have been something that you said.
Oh, was it?
Celebrate.
No, okay. Okay, bye.
That's on the recording.
Bye.